Hey guys, so today we are going to be talking about why anarcho-capitalism isn't really anarchism.
And looky here, folks, the guy already defeated himself in the video. I mean, look at all the straw mans he has on the left of me. On your left, not my character's left. I mean, maintaining hierarchical property relations and economic classes? Yeah, that's okay. That's okay to have in anarcho-capitalism because it's all voluntary. The economics is voluntary, the society is voluntary, the hierarchies are voluntary. Of course you're gonna have hierarchy in anarcho-capitalism. I mean, for example, businesses. Businesses have a hierarchy. You have your various superiors and your various subordinates. Without hierarchy, you can't have a business. Without hierarchy, you can't have sports teams either. I mean, you know, you have coaches and quarterbacks and line breakers, stuff like that. Can't have that without hierarchy. If hierarchy's so bad, if we Ancaps are all being, contradictory by having hierarchies. Basically, you can't have anything that involves a group without a hierarchy. And that's perfectly fine in Ancapistan. What we're against is involuntary hierarchies. Like government. That's what we're against. Warlordism, that's bullshit. You can't have warlords in Ancapistan if a lot of people are armed. People have private security / military / police / militias, / whatever else protection. No military industrial complex or war and drugs. You can't have warlords without, government, and you can't have warlords with self-defense. This argument makes no sense. LARPing, I heard it stood for something that has to do with a role-playing game, not really relevant. Siding with fascists over anarchists? What the fuck is this? We don't side with fascists. Ancaps do not side with fascists. We don't side with anybody of any political affiliation. Because, well, I don't know, we're anarchists. We don't support the state in any way. Fascists support the state. Communists support the state. Republicans and Democrats and Libertarians, even, minarchists, even they support the state. We don't support the state, so why the hell would we side with fascists? Sorry about that, folks. Replacing governments with easily corruptible private courts and police. Okay. For starters, public courts and police are easily corruptible. Look at the war on drugs. Does that really serve the people? Does that really help them out? Did public courts and police really enforce that before? No, but then, even bigger elitists got in charge and said, hey, let's make it so fucking drugs are illegal. And so they became illegal and people got in trouble for having them, for having anything to really do with them, really. And then that's where we are today, with the war on drugs and its violence and its impracticality and its expense. And plus, there have been police officers that done bad things, fought a killing, like the ones that killed Gardner and stuff. Courts can be swayed just towards the police or the government rather than the people. That's not fair, and yet you're acting like that's the thing that's gonna happen with private courts, please. That's not gonna happen with public courts, please. That's gonna happen with private courts, please. Also, you see, here's the thing about private courts and police. They have the incentive to be good, otherwise they get fired. Okay? Can you fire a government? Can you fire public police? No. If a public government / police force does poorly, it still sticks around. Because it's not privatized. It can't be fired. You have to practically beg all these goddamn courts just to convict a few fucking police officers for killing innocent people. The public sector can't be fired like the private sector can if it fucks up. So, yeah, another straw man. Buying into social conservative and reactionary politics. Again, Ancaps don't side with government. We don't side with members of government nor people that support said governments. We're Ancaps. We're an apolitical philosophy. We're of a philosophy that's devoid of government since we don't even support that in the first place. Hating sex workers. Okay, how does he come up with this one? And in Kapistan, sex work such as prostitution is legal, okay? If it's two consenting adults, voluntary consenting adults, it's legal, okay? Sex work is legal. It's up for grabs in Kapistan. I never even heard of straw man, but a straw man's a straw man. It's fucking stupid. Failing to oppose oppression. How do we fail to oppose oppression? We're in Kapistan. We disagree with government. When Ancapistan comes along, by this point, we've gotten rid of the government. Therefore, we've gotten rid of oppression. Therefore, we're not failing to oppose oppression. And if oppression tries to rise in Kapistan, it's not gonna do well. People are gonna stand up to the People are gonna stand up to the rapists, murderers, kidnappers, robbers, whoever else is violent. And as for any politicians, any government that'll just reinstate itself, that's not going to happen either, because people aren't going to tolerate anyone ruling over them ever again. So much for failing to oppose oppression. Pretend to be anarchist. They're just really blowing hard all out here, pretend to be anarchists. We are anarchists. We oppose the state. Everything's voluntary. You can't really force anarcho-capitalism on anyone. And as one person put somewhere on a video I saw, when you opt out of anarchism, you opt in anyway. Because it's completely voluntary. I guess you could say anarcho-capitalism is passive in a sense. You do it by not doing anything, by not oppressing anyone, by not having politicians, assholes in suits that decide how you live your life. So, since anarchism is just a lack of aggression, I'd say we're real anarchists and we're not really forcing anything on anyone. Obstructing unionization. Well, this doesn't make any goddamn sense, because in Ancapistan, you can have a union if you want to, for your business. If you want to. You don't have to, but if you want to, a union can be set up. It all depends on what you and your workers agree upon to have as oversight for your business. That's what it all boils down to. So, yeah, okay, that's pretty much all the straw mans against Ancapistan. On his left, debunked. I guess we can go to the right. Okay, well, let's see. Growing weed is a pretty laughable argument he has, considering you can do that in Ancapistan. Also, mutual aid, yeah, we have that. Leftagorism, contradiction, oxymoron. Organized crime co-ops, we've got privatized police in Ancapistan. I don't know exactly what an organized crime co-op is. Yeah, you could have that in, I guess, anarcho-communism, but I think you can also have it in anarcho-capitalism, so I don't really see how that has an edge over anarcho-capitalism. Using both black markets and black market socialism as weapons against hierarchy. This doesn't really make any sense. If you have Ancapistan, where everything that should be legal is legal, where the only things that would be frowned upon and opposed and stopped and punished would be like, harming other people. And why would you even have black markets or black market socialism, and why would you even need them as weapons against hierarchy? Makes no sense. arming own workers. Well, if workers can be armed in Ancapistan if they want to. Mass boycotting of capitalist corporations. Well, in capitalism, true capitalism, there are no corporations because there is no government to grant There is no government to grant companies corporate licenses to be corporations in the first place. Therefore, no corporatism. Political cybercrime. I really don't know what he's saying in some of these. I don't think there'd be political cybercrime since no government, obviously. Opposing hierarchical property relations through squatting. Okay, to tell those of you that don't know, squatting is basically where you go into empty property and just stay there. You hang around. If it's owned or stuff, even if it's owned, just stick around. I don't exactly support that if the property is owned and the people who own it really don't want you there. If it's abandoned, sure. I mean, it's abandoned. Do what you want with it. The claimer gets to have it. But just being in a place that people really don't want you in there, that's theirs. No, I don't agree with that. And anarcho-communism, if you have that, then I wouldn't consider that much of a free society. Guerrilla gardening, that's basically where you grow whatever, wherever. You can plant, planting something on someone's property if they don't want you to, if they don't want you there, they don't want you to plant that there. I don't support guerrilla gardening unless it's in an abandoned place that people don't give a shit about. You get to claim as your own to garden there. If it's on someone else's private property, you obviously can't do that. Revolutionary sex worker unions. I would think you'd have that in Ancapistan. I mean, if you want to form a union for your brothel, that can be done. Or your porn studio, or whatever, it can be done. Or your sex club. I don't really see what's the problem. Actually being anarchist, that's pretty silly. They're not. Anarcho-communism is forced. If it's forced, it's not voluntary. If it's not voluntary, it's not capitalism. Getting rich people addicted to fentanyl. Yeah, that behind my character's left leg. No, that's... You wouldn't get rich people addicted to fentanyl or anything. It's their body. If they want to get on a drug, they can. But if they don't have to. Whistleblowing. I'd say there'd be a lot of whistleblowing in Ancapistan should something bad arise up. Should your private police go haywire, I'd expect people to call them out. Do-it-yourself pharmaceuticals also behind my leg, in addition to whistleblowing, in addition to getting rich people addicted to fentanyl. Yeah, you could very well do your own pharmaceuticals in Ancapistan. So I don't see what this guy is on about when he has his, his glorious anarcho-commune man, looking like Jesus or something, and then you got your poor ass looking anarcho-capitalist man looking like, homeless and tattler. I don't get that shit. But I guess it's now that I've whatever debunked all his arguments, which he showed on his picture right on the video, I guess it's time to continue.
Now, a lot of people first start off this argument with the private property thing, but we're gonna start with the NAP and why I mainly think anarcho-capitalism isn't anarchism. Now, we know that anarchism is the abolition of all unjustified hierarchies, and the NAP is essentially a hierarchy.
What the fuck? This guy thinks the NAP is a hierarchy. It is not a hierarchy. All the NAP is a principle of not being an aggressive dickhead to anyone. I mean, it's the NAP, the non-aggression principle. You don't attack people unjustly. You don't rape people, you don't kill people, you don't murder, you don't kidnap, rob. You leave people the hell alone, and you only attack them when they attack you, to stop them from attacking you and or to punish them, okay? It's It's not a hierarchy. Why would it be a hierarchy if everyone has to even abide by the NAP? Everyone has to abide by the NAP, okay? It can't be a hierarchy if everyone's in the same kind of position. They have to abide by the NAP. It's not like you have these people who abide by the NAP, and these higher people who abide by the NAP, and these higher people. No, everyone abides by the NAP. It's non-negotiable. You cannot break it. If you do, you deserve to be punished. You deserve to be stopped and punished. So, no, the NAP isn't a frickin' hierarchy.
Because the NAP forces values like non-aggression and non-violence upon people. And if they are, they get punished in such a private prisons where abuse may very well happen.
The NAP doesn't force values on people. Leaving people alone isn't a value to be forced on anyone. You know, making people leave each other alone isn't forcing a value on someone. It just means, hey, leave people alone. Don't rape them, don't beat them, don't kill them, don't rob them, don't steal from them, don't kidnap them. How is that really forcing the value on everyone? Just leave everyone alone. You know, that's like not really something you can force on people, since you are just supposed to leave people alone. You know, leaving people alone is passive, getting in other people's faces is active. So yeah, just leave people alone, and people can be abused in public prisons just as private prisons, and I believe in capitalism private prisons would be better than private prisons in today's state society, because you only get sent to jail for harming other people rather than stupid old drug laws. Another victimless crap.
What this also does, it establishes a hierarchy in every community that everyone must oblige to. Because in anarcho-capitalism, there are no exceptions to different rules. It's all NAP.
Anarcho-capitalism communes can vary in rules. Like, some may allow gas-guzzling SUVs, while others may want clean, green energy SUVs. But overall, the communes should not only follow the NAP by leaving other communes and other people outside the communes alone, they should also respect the people within the communes. Otherwise, they're crappy communes.
And in anarcho-communism, their rules will vary from commune to commune, which means that every commune will be able to express themselves however they would like. And there would be no backlash from anybody.
In anarcho-capitalism, communes can express themselves however they like too. Like I said, some communes could have gas-guzzling SUVs, and some communes may only have green energy SUVs, or a combination of the two. Some may be environmentally friendly and some may not. And as for backlash, I believe a commune could have backlash every now and then, and some people could reach disagreements, but overall, communes should be able to handle that in anarcho-capitalism.
Now, the second reason is because of the private property that occurs in anarcho-capitalism. In anarcho-capitalism, the workers do not own the means of production.
And that's perfectly fine that they don't. The means of production are for the business owner. That's the whole point of running the business, is to have something to earn you a profit. It doesn't matter that the workers don't earn the business. It doesn't matter that the workers don't own the business. What they own is their wages. That's all that matters.
And some people might like to say that workers can buy a commune where they could practice anarcho-communism, but this really isn't true whatsoever, because that could be interpreted as aggression, because they might try to change the NAP rules in that community, because anarcho-communism doesn't like private property, right? So they might outlaw that. But that might be viewed as aggression from the NAP because the NAP allows that.
How can buying a commune be interpreted as aggression? It's voluntarily being sold. I don't get it. Also, you can't change the NAP. It's set in stone. It just means don't be a dick to people. How can you possibly change that? You can't.
You know, it's also very loose on its terms of aggression. Like, how do we know what is aggression and what is not aggression, you know what I mean?
Aggression is acting upon another person against their will / permission. You know, stealing, raping, killing, robbing, kidnapping. That's acting on someone against their consent, against their will, against their permission. That's how you determine what aggression is. People don't want to be raped, killed, stolen from. So, since their self-ownership is being violated, since they're being acted on against their will, that is aggression. That is how you determine it.
Like, how do we know what punishments go too far and what punishments are too little and things like that, basically. Which is why anarcho-communism is a better system for anarchism, because each community gets to choose the way they want to live. That's all for this video. I hope somebody responds to this. Goodbye.
It would be up to each commune to decide what to punish for what, and I would hope they wouldn't go overboard. And also, each community can live how it wants to live in anarcho-capitalism. So, I don't see what you're saying. Anyways, that's the end.